The year was 1997. NASA just landed its first rover named Pathfinder on Mars. Princess Diana tragically passed away in a car accident. The first ever Harry Potter book was released, and a song that would take the world by storm was also released that same year. The song was Barbie Girl by a Danish band called Aqua.
You want to go for a ride?
Sure, Ken.
Jump in.
Barbie Girl swiftly made its mark on the music scene, debuting at an impressive number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. This achievement marked the highest charting debut ever for a new group at the time. Even today, Aqua holds the distinction of being the most successful Danish band in history. The bubblegum pop song was irresistibly catchy, solidifying its place as one of the most memorable earworms ever composed. Its release perfectly aligned with the prevailing 90s trend of embracing nostalgia of the 1970s. Even with the song being over 2 decades old, it has over 1 billion plays on YouTube. Their rise to stardom came seemingly overnight, appearing out of nowhere. However, as fast as they emerged, they faded away just as quick. So what happened to the band Aqua? Maybe it was that lawsuit that killed the career, or maybe the love triangle between the 3 members that ultimately sealed their fate and ended one of the best-selling bands of all time. It all started with Claus Noreen and Soren Rasted winning a contest to produce a soundtrack for a film that was coming out in 1994. After having the music, they needed the extra special ingredient to make their music shine. Enter Renee Diff, a talented club DJ. With Renee on board, the trio set out to make the soundtrack for the film Freak Frida. After they finished the soundtrack, they wanted to start a band together, and they knew they needed something different. They needed a female singer. So guess where they found that female singer? On a boat. She was singing to passengers that were riding the boat. Can you imagine? You're singing on a boat. You've probably done this multiple times. And then one day, all of a sudden, 3 guys come up to you and go, wow, you have a great voice. You want to be in my band? And you're like, okay, sure. And then you turn it out to be one of the biggest Danish groups to ever exist. They asked Leen Nystrom to join their new band, Joyspeed. With Noreen and Rasted producing the song, Diff would rap and Nystrom would sing. They signed to a small Swedish record label in 1995 and released their very first single, Itsy Bitsy Spider, which was a massive failure. Their failure was so bad that the 4 of them and their record label decided just to cancel their record contract, and they didn't release anything else. They got a new manager and decided to shake things up and dive headfirst in the world of bubblegum pop that would become their trademark. They renamed themselves Aqua after seeing a poster with that name on it in their dressing room one evening. Shortly after, in 1996, Universal Music of Denmark approached them and gave them a record contract. They released their first song, Roses Are Red, which stayed on the Denmark charts for over 2 months and eventually certified platinum. Their single was so popular, they even received a nomination for Best Danish Dance Act. 6 months later, in 1997, they followed that up with their second single, My Oh My. Their single broke all Danish sales records and being certified gold within 6 days. With the success of their first 2 singles, the record label felt confident to branch them out into other countries for their third single. The next single they released would be the song that would not only define their career, but also start the dominoes that would ultimately end their career as well. Soren Rasted, Aqua's keyboardist, one day found himself enchanted by an art exhibit in his hometown of Copenhagen. It was an art display featuring a spherical arrangement of Barbie dolls that sparked his imagination. He thought of an iconic phrase that stuck in everyone's mind. Life is plastic, it's fantastic. And just like that, Barbie Girl was created and released as their third single. Little did they know, this infectious anthem would catapult them into stardom. The 4 members of Aqua poured their hearts into the songwriting process while working with musical geniuses like Johnny Jam and Delgado on production. Their secret weapon? The Roland JV2080 synth, giving their music that unmistakable Aqua sound, a mix of vibrant energy and irresistible pop vibes. But it was the music video that truly took them to new heights. Directed by the brilliant Peter Peterson, it became a sensation on MTV, captivating viewers all around the world at 1.2 billion views on YouTube. And just like that, Aqua went from a local European pop group to a global sensation. Barbie Girl dominated the charts, winning hearts and getting stuck in everyone's head. It soared to number 7 on the Billboard's Hot 100, ruled the UK single charts for another incredible 4 weeks, and became England's second best-selling record of 1997, just behind Elton John's iconic Candle in the Wind. Afraid of being a one-hit wonder, they released their 4th single off their album, called Lollipop. The song became the band's second top 40 hit, peaking at number 23 in the US. It seemed as if they were unstoppable, but soon a thorn would get stuck in their side that wouldn't ever go away and ultimately led to their breakup. The catchy and colorful Barbie Girl may have brought Aqua worldwide fame, but also stirred up some controversy. You see, the song's suggestive lyrics did not sit well with Barbie's manufacturer, Mattel. So just a mere 6 months after the song's release, Mattel sued Aqua and their North American record label MCA Records. Mattel filed a lawsuit claiming that the song turned their innocent doll into a sexual object. The toy giant alleged that Aqua had not only violated their trademark and copyrights, but also sullied the reputation of Barbie herself, referring to her as a blonde bimbo. Also, did you know you can trademark a color? Apparently, Mattel also sued them because their album cover was Barbie pink, and they owned the trademark to that color. The case, known as Mattel versus MCA Records, made its way to the United States District Court for Central Districts of California. However, Aqua and its record label MCA Records did not back down. They defended their song, arguing that Barbie Girl was a parody protected by the First Amendment. The legal proceedings stretched on for a couple years, even going as high as the Supreme Court, with both sides fiercely advocating their position. Finally, in 2002, the court delivered its verdict. The judge ruled in favor of Aqua and MCA Records. Dismissing Mattel's claim, the court declared that Barbie Girl was indeed a parody protected by the freedom of expression enshrined in the First Amendment. But by this time, the damage had already been done. Imagine the record label having to go to court for 5 years, all those lawyer fees. Who do you think has to pay for that? Do you think the label is just going to pay for all those fees out of the goodness of their hearts? No. They will recoup their costs through the band's record sales and any means necessary. After the initial wave of success, like Turn Back Time, Dr. Jones, and Lollipop, Aqua's debut album, Aquarium, soared, selling over 14 million copies worldwide. However, in 2000, they released their second album, Aquarius, which ultimately failed to match the success of their debut album, Aquarium. Aquarius reached a modest position of number 82 on the Billboard 200, a considerably decline compared to Aquarium's impressive number 7 ranking. Furthermore, their best single, Cartoon Heroes, failed to even chart in the US charts. Even though the album went on to sell 4 million copies worldwide, it was indeed a massive setback for the band and led to their eventual split up in 2001. According to Billboard, the band issued a statement expressing their mutual acknowledgement that the spark between them was presently absent. We have looked at each other over straight in the eyes and reached the conclusion that for the moment, the spark is missing. This statement seemed a little odd given the fact that they were actually working on their third studio album. They were even playing shows where they would showcase a few of their new songs, but it seemed as if more was happening behind the scenes. Rumors began to circulate that band separation was actually triggered by a love triangle. Allegedly, lead singer Nystrom, known as Barbie, briefly engaged in a romantic relationship with bandmate Renee Diff. Subsequently, Nystrom reported cheated on Diff with another bandmate, Soren Rasted, the keyboardist. In the end, Rasted and Nystrom eventually got married and now have 2 children together. So if you mix in the lawsuit that was going on during this time, their second album obviously not doing as well as their first one and kind of a failure, and then add in this like interpersonal drama beef that was going on with the band just saw it best to kind of just break up at this point. After the split, Leen Nystrom embarked on a solo career, while Soren Rasted formed a new group called Lazy Boy, which he ended up getting sued by the sofa brand, so he simply had to change his name to Lazy B. He found some success in Australia with the spoken word single Underwater Goes Inside the Pants. And then in 2007, Aqua reunited for a tour. The reunion continued through 2009 when they released their third album, Megalomania. But their comeback was short-lived. After concluding an Australian tour in 2012, Aqua's reunion came to an end. Yet the story did not end there. Leen, Renee, and Soren could not let go of Aqua's legacy. In 2006, they reunited as a three-piece, with Klaus Noreen deciding to part ways due to a shift in the band's musical direction. Despite personal changes, Aqua's passion for music remained. In 2018, they released a new single, Rookie, and embarked on world tours, captivating crowds yearning for the nostalgic 90s hits. However, Aqua struggled to maintain its place in the limelight, unable to recapture the same level of fame and viral sensation experienced during its early years. Their later releases, including the album Megalomania and the cover of Gloria Gaynor's disco classic, I Am What I Am, in 2021, while welcomed by fans, did not generate the same fever and widespread recognition as their previous hits. But recently, there's now a Barbie movie, and their song has come back around. For the movie, though, they decided to do a remake cover featuring Nicki Minaj. Let me just say, the new Barbie song, I think it's called Barbie's World. I listened to it. It is terrible. It's horrible. All they did was take the Barbie song, pretty much the chorus, they made it super low in the mix, and then they have this massive 808 just pounding, and then they put a little drum beat, and then it's Nicki Minaj and, I don't know, a couple other rappers rapping over it. Oddly enough, though, like 20 years ago, they sued Aqua because the lyrics over-sexualized Barbie and called her a blonde bimbo. But in these lyrics, Nicki Minaj talks about Barbie's pussy, talks about being spanked when she's bad. Totally fine. They don't even care. And in fact, they're the ones that approved it. They actually didn't want the original lyrics of the Barbie Girl song. So they just pretty much have the chorus playing over and over, but don't have the verses. I don't know, maybe they got a change of heart. But anyways, the music industry is a tough game. And Aqua got a stroke of luck with their Barbie Girl song, but their career never really took off beyond what they feared they'd be, a one-hit wonder.